G'day guys, welcome to another layout. I hope everyone is healthy and happy today. I am bringing you a Christmas layout and I started off with a cut file. I wanted to use this VICKI BOUTIN paper. It's one of her new ones from Capture the Joy paper from the Peppermint K.I.S.S collection. I started off with a PEARTREE CUTFILE, which is called The Best Bit of Christmas. I will have linked in the description below if you want to grab that one. I did purchase that for myself, so I love the PEARTREE CUTFILEs because I really enjoy titles that have, I can make them myself on the Cricut, but I really enjoy just being able to click on a few generic titles over at PEARTREE CUTFILEs. I also use the ones from Cut to You. They also have a good range. But today, this one is a PEARTREE CUTFILE. Now, something I'm trying to get you guys to do is start thinking about your supplies a little bit differently. Now, you can see what I'm doing here. I've pulled out a tiny piece of, it's a 6x6 paper. It's from the K.I.S.S Crafts, what's it called? Is it Fern? Emerald Eve. That's what the paper is. And I bought this one specifically, this paper pad, specifically for Christmas because it's the green that I like. It's that deep, deep green. And I absolutely love that one. Now, it didn't have quite enough pattern on it for me. So I pulled out my VERSAFINE CLAIR ink in green OASIS. And what I did is I went over the green paper with that stamp. And because it's green on green, it doesn't really sort of stand out in your face, but you can tell there's a pattern on there. Then I pulled out my white pigment ink. I bought this ages ago when Spotlight was getting rid of a heap of Heidi Swap Color Shine sprays, and I grabbed a couple of these at the same time. There's a couple of white ink pads, so I don't even know what brand it is. If you happen to know, please write it in the comments below so other people can look for it if they may still have it stocked in their area. Then what I decided to do was go over the whole thing to start the shimmery goodness. I decided to go over it with some clear embossing powder. Now, all that's doing is locking in the pigment inks, and you can see it's added extra depth to the paper. It's still green. It's now a little bit busier. So if you don't have it's adding extra interest to each of the letters, but it's not in your face. It's sticking with the green and white. So I haven't added another color. I haven't added a metallic. It's just shine. Now, I don't back cut files like this very often, but I wanted to show you another way to stretch your cut file. So this particular cut file, I have decided that I'm going to back in the traditional way that cut files were originally. This is how I remember Missy Whidden used to back her cut files like this, and she'd trace them, and it's so fiddly doing it like that. And I have to be honest, it is, for me, I find this style of backing a cut file mundane and boring. That's just me. Tell me if you feel the same way. Is this how you back a cut file? Because if it is, try doing it one of my other ways that I usually do, because it is so much quicker. It is so much easier, and it just comes together so much quicker. I left this in here. This is sped up 8 times. Okay, so that's how long it takes me to cut around this, and I'm using my Tim Holtz mini snips, and honestly, those things glide through this like butter. So it's not the scissors, it's not the equipment, it's not anything like that. It's just that process. It's a little bit hard for me. I'm not a fan, so I'm just letting you know up front. Now, I'm adding the letters back in the center just so I can put the centers back in the words. Another pet peeve of mine is when I buy a cut file and they don't have the center pieces in there. I find that so irritating. It's probably just me. Let me know, does that bother you if you go to buy a cut file and it doesn't have the centers in the letters? does my head in. I hate it. I have to say, I absolutely hate it. So I quite often, I will lean to PEARTREE CUTFILES is where I will go right off the bat for my wordy titles because they include those pieces. I know it's something simple and it shouldn't bother me, but it does. So that's one of the reasons I go to PEARTREE CutFiles. Sorry, I've actually had, I get these migraines and it is so annoying. I'm just squirrel for a second as I'm cutting out hexagons. I get these migraines and I used to always get migraines in the back of my head. And it was go to bed, nausea, dark room, cold room. Like, that's how I had to deal with it. Nowadays, I actually get from stress, and this is post-heart attack. I don't even know why this is the case, but I now get migraines. They're like cluster migraines, and they affect my mouth. I know, it's so weird. I've been looked into it, and it's so bizarre, but stress causes it. So because Taylor's just got a job and she's in the training phase, and being a traffic controller, she's put in situations that not everyone is put in their job, where cars, people don't stop, all that sort of bizzo. So it's a little stressful for me. So I'm scrapping up a storm just to keep my brain occupied, but my mouth is letting me down. So I apologize if I sound a little different. Yeah. So now I am showing you here how I'm going to create my own metallic paint. Faux paint. This is how I make it. So I actually go ahead and put some gum arabic in these are just lip gloss containers that I've bought from, I don't even know where I got them from. I think it was probably either Amazon or, I don't know, probably Amazon. Now, I make these up and then I store them and they dry out. You can see the gold there, see how it's dry, and the pink and the blue at the top, they're all dry. All you have to do to rejuvenate it is wet it just like a watercolor, and I mix the gum arabic with mica powder. These are the Poppy Crafts mica powders. I bought these a while ago and they were $49, and I think I got 30 different mica powders. Then all you do is add some water to them, and boom, bada bing, you've got yourself metallic paint. Now, some colors, depending how opaque you want it to be, as you can see there, I'm just testing these by just wiping them on this piece of scrap cardstock just to see if it's the opacity that I want. If you want it a little stronger, just add a little bit more. You can do a couple of things. You can add ink to it. You can add gee whiz, I'm gonna have to mute that bit. I'm getting a stack of emails come through for some reason. Now, you can add other colors to it. I personally have found, you can see the opacity there. I don't feel like I need to add much more to these. See how they're nice and dark, and they go on and they dry. Now, the gum arabic is your adhesive. So a lot of people have said to me, I've bought mica powders, but they just wipe off. That's because you haven't got in your medium of choice, your medium to, let me think, how do I word this? You have to have a sticky element to it. So you've got to have a binding agent. That's what I was trying to think of. So your sticky element, your binding agent, is your water mixed with your gum arabic. Now, you can get gum arabic in powder form or liquid form. I personally have the powder form. You saw me there. It takes 2 seconds. And it's shelf stable. It's 2 seconds to just swirl it around and it dissolves perfectly. You don't have to use, for all of these colors, I just did a ratio of 1:1. So 1 scoop. If you want to do a tablespoon, knock yourself out. I just make tiny little amounts because I don't feel that I need to have loads and loads made up. Now you can see that beautiful little Christmas palette of gloss and shiny goodness I've got going there. I love it. And you can see how I'm adding this to the page. I'm just adding the colors to my scrunched up piece of packaging because I don't want it to just go down and be a solid color. I want it to be sort of splatty a little bit, and then I'm drying in between. So once you put this down and once you fully dry it, then you can go in and put some more splats and stuff on top, and you can build it up like I'm doing here. Now this is my favorite gold. This is the gold that I really, really like out of all the golds that came in the set. I like the really light shimmery gold. The other thing I wanted to mention with this too is not only is it pennies to make these containers up, but they last forever, and the gum arabic will run out before the mica powders do, I can assure you. I did actually find the other day on Temu, they had similar little containers of mica, and it was $29, I think, for the mica powders. So yeah, if you want to try them out, they are a little bit cheaper. I don't know if they're as larger bottles as what I've got, but have a look there. That works too. The gum arabic I buy from Amazon, or you can buy it from cake stores, believe it or not, because it is food grade. So sorry. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've created a nice sparkly background using greens and reds. Absolutely love it. I have distressed the edges of my hexies, which I absolutely adore. Think that's super cute. And I gotta be honest, when I saw this cardstock, I bought 2 sheets of it because I love hexagons, and I love having something that I'm really enjoying is having lots of pattern on it, lots of coordinating pattern on a page. So whether they're all the same colors, like the greens you can see here, and then down the bottom there'll be reds, that I'm really enjoying that at the moment. So that's sort of a phase that I'm going through. Now where am I up to? I've put my photos down. I have been wanting to scrap this photo forever. It was one, Taylor was really small. I think she was 6, maybe 6. I don't think she was 7. And I really, really wanted to, now I'm going around, if you want to know what I'm doing here, I'm going around the edges with my black pen. I know it doesn't make a massive difference, but in real life it does. You can see it and it looks really good. So bear with me while I go around the edges of my cut file with my black Ecoline pen. It's a brush tip pen. It's really good for this sort of thing. If you do this, come in from the back because you will slip and you'll get black on the front of it. See how it just gives it a little bit of a border, but I'm not physically doing a border. Does that make sense? So it gives it a little bit more definition. Now I've put that down. Now I'm going to come in and put my hexies down with my 2 little Santies. They're so cute. I am a sucker for a really cute gonk and a really cute old school Santa Claus. You know, the old school one where they've got the big red rosy cheeks and the red nose and the, you know, obviously that's from my childhood. So I'm a sucker for that one. Now I'm going ahead and adding some red hexies at the bottom just to break it up a little bit. And it's just a very, very Christmassy looking layout. I absolutely love this one, but it's simple. This is easily something you can do. If you don't have the VICKI BOUTIN paper, you could cut these hexagons out on your Cricut, your Silhouette, your Brother Scan and Cut. You could use punches. You could trace them. You could print on your printer a hexagon shape, cut it out and trace it onto some scrapbook papers. You could this is such an easy layout. You could do it a million different ways. And you don't have to have this specific paper. I love this one. I think it's really cute. I'll be honest, I have not bought the entire collection, the Peppermint Kisses collection, nor have I bought the Paige Evans collection either. So that's good. That works for me. I'm just not. I found that I bought a heap of Christmas papers last year. And yeah, sorry, the ding-donging is Taylor. She's messaging me that she's going to be there all day today. She's working. She's just doing, I swear I am championing my child so bad at the moment because she is killing it. I'm absolutely loving it. She's finally, I knew she was going to take a few more years to mature and to get to the point where she was going to be able to hold down a job and all that sort of thing. And she is doing it. I kid you not, she is doing it, and I'm so proud of her. It is amazing. Now, I am just adding down some sequins and some sparkly shimmery bits, and I love how this turns out, guys. I really do. Simplicity is a very understated element of scrapbooking. Is probably one of the things that I will always say. Nothing that I do is so difficult. I won't say nothing. Okay, I don't want to sound patronizing. Not everyone can do everything. There's things I see people do and I could never do it. I don't want to sound like I'm patronizing, but what I want to say is a lot of my layouts can be easily duplicated. And if you want to slow down any of the process, remember, you have control of your own YouTube. You can go down to the cog at the bottom of your screen. You can click on it and then playback speed, adjust your playback speed if you want it to slow down. Okay, my voice will slow down with it. But if you want to mute that and watch it a little bit slower, then you can do that too. You are in complete control. You can even speed this up even more. So you can watch it in 2 times the speed. Yes, I will sound like a chipmunk, but you will get the idea. So I want to know if you guys are willing to give this a go. Over December, I am going to be giving you a lot of different Christmas bits and pieces inspiration-wise for you to use either on this year or previous year's layouts. Now, this is my layout zoomed in for you guys. Don't forget to do all the YouTubey things, like, subscribe, comment, all that sort of fun stuff. Don't forget, I do have a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description below if you would like to help support the channel by buying me a coffee so I can buy more supplies to bring you more content. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate this. And what do you think? Let me know below. Is it a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Let me know. Is it something you'll give it a crack? Chat to you soon, guys. Bye for now.